So Musa alayhi salam says, I promise you, I'll be patient. Okay. Well, in that case, you can follow me on this one condition. Don't ask me any questions until I explain to you. But just a minute ago, he said, I'm the most learned man of all in the whole world. So you cut down to size, now don't ask me any questions until I explain to you. So he accepts. And then they travel and the three events occurred, and I don't have the time to be leisurely with them. I wish I had the time. The first one was the boat, and he scuttled the boat. And Musa alayhi salam was quite annoyed. Why did you do that? What a bad thing you've done. Did I not tell you not to ask any questions? He said, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And then they proceed and he cut off, kill the boy. Oh my gosh, this is bad. This is really bad. You kill the boy, an innocent child. Why did you do that? Did I not tell you not to ask any questions? I'm sorry. If I ask any more questions, you could send me off. You could send me away. Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, commenting on this passage of the Quran, he said, I wish Musa alayhi salam had shown more patience. We would have learned more. We would have learned more. So he said, if I ask any more questions, you could send me away. And then they came to this town which was very inhospitable. Wouldn't offer any hospitality at all. Huh? And there is a wall which someone had built, and it was collapsing. And Khidr alayhi salam from his own pocket paid for the wall to be reconstructed. And Musa alayhi salam is appalled. These people have offered no hospitality to travelers. You should at least demand a refund on the money you spent. Did I not say to you, don't ask any questions? Now this is the end. هَذَا فِرَاقُ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنِكَ. This is the end. You're going to have to leave. But before you leave, let me explain to you that which you could not understand. Let me give you the ta'wil. Ta'wil. Ta'wil means the interpretation. Tafsir. Explanation. Ta'wil. Interpretation. The three events which were chosen were events which could not be understood unless interpreted. Is this by accident that Allah has chosen three events which could not be understood unless interpreted? And the interpretation is only possible with knowledge that comes from above. I hope you're listening. I hope you're listening. Because the next 20 years are going to be very interesting in this encounter between Zionism and the world of Islam. And Islamic scholarship has to be trained. Islamic scholarship has to prepare itself for this battle. The reason why I scuttled that boat is because there's a king coming to seize the boats. Seize your property. And by scuttling the boat, I saved it. And when the king has gone, they can repair the boat. And so what appeared to you to be something bad wasn't bad at all. It was very wise and sensible and intelligent. And so if you base your judgment on only external observation and rational analysis. When you need to interpret, you can be wrong, as he was wrong here. A lesson for Banu Israel. Number two, the boy, obviously, who was killed. This could not have been an actual event. Why? Because it is haram to kill an innocent child. And if you kill an innocent child, you're going to have to pay for it with your life. You've got to be killed. But this is the wisest of all men. So obviously you need only 5 ringgits worth of intelligence, not more than that, to understand that this is not an actual event, but something to be interpreted. This child was lost. Someone has taken him over. He's growing crooked. In Akhiru Zaman, someone is going to be after your children. And once he takes over your children, they're going to grow up crooked. That little son of yours is going to become a homosexual. What are you going to do when your son becomes a homosexual? And you are a father and you are a mother who worship Allah. You can't change him. What do you do? So he cut off, he killed the boy, and prayed to Allah that Allah may send him a better child. Sending a message to you in Akhirul Zaman to scuttle your boat. Scuttle your boat. No more driving around there with a Mercedes-Benz motor car. A little Kalisa would do well, and you live a safer life. the big $5 million house in Damansara Heights or Srihar Tamas or wherever you are, and you have to employ guards to save, to protect you, security. Every room has a security. But if you live in a kampung house, a nice little kampung house in a kampung, and you live a life that is like the villager, you scuttle your boat. You are living a safer life with more security. And when you see your children growing up, and that mastermind has taken over, Dajjal, and you cannot correct them. You've done everything you can. Cut off your ties. Cut off your ties. Even though they are your children. Cut off your ties. And move on without them. Otherwise they will destroy you. And that wall, beneath that wall, a believer was dying and he had 2 orphan children and he wanted to leave his wealth for them. Couldn't find an honest man. Not one. Not one. Something like Lower Manhattan. You know where Wall Street is. Couldn't find an honest man. And so he dug a hole and buried the money. Sure, it couldn't be paper ringgits. They'll rot away. Had to be dinar and dirham, you know. The real money, not that bogus, fraudulent and utterly haram money. So he dug a hole and buried the money. And then he built a wall on top of it. And prayed to Allah to preserve that wealth for his children. And since the wall was falling, Allah told me to reconstruct it. So there are more things that you could see. There are more things that you could see. And I saw Musa alayhi salam. Your judgment was based on external observation. And you were wrong all 3 times. And my judgment was based upon internal knowledge, apart from external observation. And I was able to recognize what you could not recognize, like the paper money, for example.